Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a budget with me for the paycheck that I will be receiving on September 28th, 2023 using the printable version of the Budget by Paycheck Workbook from the Budget Mom. If you're interested in seeing that, please stick around. So for this budget with me, I thought we'd start out in my monthly spread. I did not post a budget with me or a cash envelope stuffing for the paycheck that I received on September 14th. I went through a major creative slump and productivity slump. I might still be in that slump just a little bit, but I'm kind of trying to force my way out of it. So there was no videos for this paycheck. And so I just wanted you all to see that with that paycheck on the 14th, I am paying all of my bills that are in orange. I'm actually filming this on the 25th, which is why I haven't checked off my church contribution yet. And so the paycheck that I'm receiving on September 28th is going to be used to pay bills in October. All of these bills that are in yellow are going to be paid with my are going to be paid with my September 28th paycheck, even though they're bills in October. I made sure to consider savings challenges while I was putting this budget together as well. So that's something that I'm keeping in mind, or at least I'm really hoping I remember to keep that in mind. We'll see when we get to my cash envelope stuffing. So here is my paycheck budget tracker, and wow, my page got I don't know what the heck happened to it. But anyways, this is my paycheck budget tracker. I'm going to zoom on in so that you all can see this clearly. So as usual, we are starting out in the income section, and I am budgeting my income to be its usual $3,100. That is income from my full-time job. If we go down to the bill section, I don't have too many bills. With this paycheck, we're paying my rent for $600, my gym membership at $65, and Spotify at $15. But I did do some credit card spending in the month of August and September, and I have to pay those bills. So I am going to budget about $145 for Capital One and almost $460 for Discover. If I add all of that together, my bills are $1,278 for this month. And if I subtract that from the $3,100, I shouldn't say this month, I should say this pay period, sorry. $1,278 for this pay period, and if I subtract that from the $3,100 I'm budgeting my income to be, I have $1,822 that I'm going to bring down to the envelope section of the paycheck budget tracker. So everyone's envelope section is going to look different. This is for variable expenses. What my variable expenses are, what somebody else's are, how we budget them, that's totally personal, right? Personal to our situations. For me, what works is groceries for $200, eating out for $100, gas for $75, and then miscellaneous for $175. Now, as we're getting closer to 2024, I'm starting to think more about how I'm allocating this money, like how I'm actually spending this money, especially because I have been struggling with a lot of GI stuff lately, and I've really had to start kind of tweaking and changing my diet here and there. It's very new, and so I'm not sure what it's going to look like in a week or 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm just keeping that in mind because right now I'm spending a lot more, I feel like, on groceries because there are specific things my body's tolerating, and those are kind of costing more versus eating out. I'm like almost nervous to be eating out right now. I just don't know what my stomach's going to tolerate. So I'm thinking about that more and more as we're getting closer and closer to 2024, because if there's anything I need to tweak here, I can do that in the new year. I can do it before then too, but I'm kind of going to use the next few months as like my collecting period in terms of like, well, where's the data? Like, what am I actually spending on groceries? What am I actually spending on eating out? All of these added together do equal $550, and if I subtract that from the $1,822 we were left with after paying bills, I have $1,272 that I'm going to bring up to the sinking fund section of the Paycheck Budget Tracker. If you've been watching my budget with me's and cash envelope stuffings for the last few months, you'll know that I've started my 2024 sinking funds as well as several new rolling sinking funds. I haven't taken any money out of my rolling sinking funds yet. I'm really trying to not do that, to hold off until 2024 to use those rolling sinking funds, the new ones. That way I'm starting the year off with a nice chunk of money in each of those envelopes. But if I need to pull from them, I can. They're rolling sinking funds. I can use them now if I need to. For our sinking funds, most things are looking how they have been the last few months, except for travel. So we're budgeting 15 for Black Friday, 25 for Christmas, 20 for subscriptions, which is my Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and TCMC subscriptions. Medical is 20, car insurance and taxes is 120, holidays is 15, birthdays is 20, gifts is 20, nope, 15, sorry. Giving is 50, my RN and APRN licenses is 25. Household, if I flip this around, is 20. Home maintenance is 100. I don't own a home yet, but I am trying to gear up for when that happens. I'm like desperate for that to happen. I'm so sick of looking at houses. Baby is 30. Travel, which I believe I kind of set at 100. Is that right? Yeah, I kind of been putting 100 into it since I started these new sinking funds. And then in September, in August, yeah, it was 100. I started bumping it up because of the trip I was paying for. Yeah, and then I did the same. So even in September, like last pay period, I bumped it way up, but I did pay for the vacation I'm going on in October, so I'm going to kind of pull it back down. I do want to overstuff it a little bit right now because I'm going to use some of this as spending money for my vacation, of course. So that's why I'm putting 200 versus I think it'll go back down to 100 once I've gone on that trip. And then personal is 25. All of my sinking funds added together is $700. And if I subtract that from the $1,272 I was left with after bills and variable expenses, we have $572. Whoops. And I'm going to put all of that into my house savings. It's not a lot of cash, so I want it just to immediately go into my house savings. If we flip this over, I did do the cash envelope breakdown. So I did put all of the categories here. I did put in all my bills here. I haven't added everything up yet, just in case I find out that I made an error. I need to make some tweaks, but I do think I did this correctly. All of my sinking funds, which are listed here, it's always largest denominations possible. For my rent, which I snuck in at the bottom, I always do 300s and 650s. Really where we see variability is my variable expenses, which are listed right up top. Now groceries is not listed because I do my groceries online, I pay for them online, so I have a separate checking account on my bank, which I put my grocery money into every 2 weeks when I get paid. The other three are listed here, and I put in pencil next to eating out and miscellaneous what I need to remove from those envelopes for savings challenges for this pay period. So I'm going to have to take out $27 from eating out. And so the denominations I chose are going to allow me to do that. So we're pulling out $100 in a 50, 2 20s, a 5 and 5 singles. Gas, I'm going with my usual 50, 20 and $5 bill. And then miscellaneous gets $175, but we have to pull 41 out. So we're doing the $175 in a $100 bill, 3 20s, a 10 and 5 singles. And that is going to be it for this budget with me. I definitely feel a little bit rusty filming this video. That was not as smooth as usual for me, but hopefully I didn't confuse anybody. If you have any questions or comments about how I use the Budget by Paycheck workbook, how I use the printable version of the workbook, please do not hesitate to put them down below. And as always, everyone, please be safe. Bye-bye.